All right, so it's time. So welcome to Dezygn Workshop. And so today is Friday, and I was hoping to share some news about design, some tips, and some AI news as well this week. So hi, Deb from New York as well. So the tool of the week, let's get right into it. I wanted to talk about is Leonardo AI and Midjourney. So first of all, can you let me know in the chat? Just type 1 if you know Leonardo AI, if you heard of it. And just so that I can get a sense of who knows Leonardo, or if I need to go really deeply into it. So Sheriff knows it, okay? Yes, it's just type 1 or 0 if you don't know it. I guess that would probably be the. So no. Okay. All right. Cool. So Leonardo AI, Midjourney, I assume most people know. So let's go into Leonardo AI, what it is. So if you go to Leonardo AI, they actually have their own interface to run the app. So basically what we are doing at Dezygn is that we are using their technology, but not their interface. And so what Leonardo AI is, it's a version of Stable Diffusion. So Stable Diffusion, it's a text-to-image AI that that's used by a lot of companies. And so what they did at Leonardo AI is that they trained Stable Diffusion to be a bit more creative, a bit more artistic. And so that's Leonardo AI. So let's look at some examples here. These are probably not the best, but I ran some prompts earlier on. So we had this image here. This was from Leonardo AI, and I think the prompt was a photo of a boy in the field. So pretty simple prompt. So what you'll find with Leonardo AI is that you don't need to add a lot of details into your prompts usually, because the way they trained it, they already kind of input a lot of details automatically. And this is one example. Again, it's a pretty simple prompt, but it's a great style. What I could do here is I could possibly fix the eyes, like this eye is a bit off. And to do that, for some reason, to do that, we'll need to run the upscale, which is not active right now. Let me check if it will be here. Okay, yeah, we just don't have it on this page. So if you go to My Designs, and then you can select Upscale. And what the upscale does, it's not only it upscales the image, but it also fixes the eyes and like facial features for AI model. So it increases the resolution and fixes the eye. That's something that you could do here. So let's go through some more of these examples. So this one was, this is another one from Leonardo AI. So it's old man sitting on a chair, playing violin by the mountains. So again, the face is not perfect, but that you can always fix with upscale. But you can see, the style is pretty artistic. You can see here this other example here. This is using the basic Stable Diffusion model. And yeah, you can see the style is less, I don't know, it's less, it's different. It's simpler in a way. Obviously, there's a lot of issues with the ends, so you'll probably need to rerun that images multiple times. But this is the basic kind of Stable Diffusion, what we call instant artist in Dezygn, or fastest model. And this is Leonardo AI. So that's, I guess, a good comparison for a similar prompt. So depending on what you're trying to create, it might be worth trying the two. run the same prompt in Stable Diffusion as in Leonardo AI and see what's the difference. And for a third comparison, I also run that prompt in Midjourney. And this is it here. This is in Midjourney. So Midjourney is obviously the clear winner here. It just looks very photorealistic. And I think the lighting, like the shadows on his face, everything like seems, everything looks very good here. I think there was another example. Yeah, so this one here. Midjourney, not as good as the other one, but still it always looks a bit more detailed with Midjourney. And obviously you could run this image multiple times until you get a result that you really like. But again, these are Midjourney, Stable Diffusion, Leonardo AI. So just to show you some comparisons, how the different models you use may affect your results. So yeah, that's Leonardo AI, and it's now available, I think, just for AI Design. We're adding it to the other tools. So in AI Design, when you click on Create, you can choose Leonardo here. And the default model is Leonardo Diffusion XL. So then they have smaller models for specific style, like you have one for vintage photography. Let's try this one actually, see how it works. Boy in the fields. You have different models, but usually, you can use the main one. And we're still working on this UI, so probably get better over the coming weeks and days and weeks. And Leonardo is slightly slower than, it's slower than the other one, Stable Diffusion. So you can see this is one of the sub-model. It's vintage style photography. So you can see it's trying to do something, but it's not really working, So if I go with the base one, which is Leonardo Diffusion XL, like usually the sub-models, it's hard to get them. The way that the sub-models usually work is that you need to have very, very precise prompts. So like pretty advanced prompts of 20 to 50 words. Like you need to go into a lot of details to get them to work. This is the normal everyday model, Leonardo Diffusion XL. And obviously it gave some kind of cartoony style here. But that kind of works. I could have added photorealistic in the prompt, but that's not bad as well. That's pretty cool. So Sheriff was saying we'll have access to V6 in any time. By V6 you mean Midjourney V6, I think. So yeah, Midjourney V6. So I'm not sure which version Midjourney. I'll double check for you, but we're using the latest version of Midjourney. So whatever is available to the public now, when you go to create Midjourney, it's the latest version. So whatever if you have a Midjourney subscription, it's the same pretty much. So I think that's V5 or V6. I'm not sure. I can double check for you. But so yeah, the Midjourney will still have some work to do on the integration. It's not perfect, but yeah, it's there. So we have Leonardo AI. We have Midjourney. So again, these are some a couple examples of Midjourney in action here, and it's great. It's great to have these options. And with Midjourney, you can really create, especially for illustrations. It's pretty good. I'll see if I can find some from my library here. No, I no longer have them. But yeah, it's very good for photos, but also for illustration. It's particularly good. So yeah, we're using the latest version, Sharif. So that might be V6 or V5. I'm not entirely sure, but whatever is active on the Midjourney website is the same. Because we're basically using our own Midjourney account and letting you access it. So that's how it works. So yeah, these are the main updates. Some of the main updates we pushed this week. We pushed these on Tuesday or Wednesday. For the design of the week, let's create an ebook cover. Okay, so that's going to be the purpose of this small training here. So we're going to create an ebook cover using AI design, using Usign, and using Mugsign. So let's get right into it. I have my prompt here. So an ebook cover is usually made of a background, then some text for the title and the author. That's kind of the bare minimum. So we're going to go for that. So first we'll go to create here, and then we'll go to AI design, and we'll use Leonardo, new model, and we have the prompt here. And for the layout, you want to use vertical. So that's 9:16. We should probably rename it vertical as well. That'll make more sense. All right, so while this is loading, I'm going to log in already to my Usign account. And let's give it a bit of time to see what we get in terms of design. All right, and this is already pretty good. So let's check it out. So this is the first one here. So this is number one. You can let me know in the chat which one you like best. So this is one. This is two. Okay, so you can vote or whatever, and this is three. So what did I do? Sorry, my bad. I think I reloaded something. Let me relaunch the creation, and in the meantime, let's prepare the design here. So it's going to be a product cover. So I'm going to select that template here, and that's it. All right, so let's wait for the image. So Rob was saying 3 or 2. Yeah, I agree. 1 was not the best. So let's see if I can get it back here, or if I need to rerun it. All right, yeah, so these are the ones. So 2, 3. Anyone else want to cast a vote? And try to open them as well. 2. All right, so let's go for, yeah, that's this one too. That's the one with the close-up, so to speak. It's pretty dramatic. Yeah, that's awesome. That's very awesome. So yeah, as you can see, Leonardo AI is good for this kind of things. Just for the sake of comparison, let's try to run this in. We'll try to run this in Stable Diffusion. Let's see. All right, so I'll save this here. So now I'm in Usign. I'm using the product cover, and I'm gonna upload the file. I need to download it properly. Actually, just give me a minute. We'll need to convert it to a JPEG file. So I could screenshot it. That's kind of cheating, but because usually when you get the first result, it's a WebP file. So when you do the download, it converts it to a JPEG or PNG. But we're just gonna use the screenshot here. Really quick here. All right, Rob says amazing. Yeah, it's good. A lot of this, it has to do with prompting, and prompting is so unnatural of a skill like sometimes I use something called civitai.com. So it's a place where people share their models. So a model is like a specifically trained version of Stable Diffusion. So I'm not sure if Leonardo is on here. No, it's not on here. All right, but let's say we take this model, for instance, Pixreal, okay? And if you go to the image here, you can see the prompts, okay? And this is, you can get very good prompts this way. So you can see here's raw photo, 18-year-old indigo hair girl, 1.2. So this is the importance of this part of the prompt, the 1.2. Then you have makeup, graphic eyeliner, choker, red. I mean, it's very particular. And usually when you take these types of prompts and you input them in Dezygn. So let me try here. You get pretty good results. So sometimes like, and this is not, again, this is not natural. Like no one comes up with these kinds of prompts. So, it's kind of a lot of work, to come up with these prompts. So in time, we're going to add some of these to our prompt library. Because, if I'm typing a prompt, I'm just gonna write waves, in the ocean. I'm not gonna write raw photo, ocean landscape, cozy, so on and so on. So yeah, this is a good place to get inspiration for prompts. civitai. All right, so we have our cover here. So we're gonna add some text, and let's call it Dark Night. Change the text color, and then we'll find a font that looks like a medieval font. So I think that kind of works. Let me see if there's anything else. Frederick the Great. That's pretty cool. And then we're gonna add the author name. Okay, and this font here could even do. This is the default font, but yeah, let's see if we find something. All this, no. Let's try this one we used before. Yeah, I think that's cool. I like the J here. And so, yeah, there we have our book cover. In like, if you're doing ebooks and like Kindle books and something, sometimes you don't need a lot more. Obviously, you can go crazy and add some banners and so on. But I like to keep it simple. And the image really is the main thing. Like if you can have a great image like this, it's already like 80% of the work. And before we had to, pay illustrators, to create this kind of imagery. Like that would cost you like, I don't know, hundreds or thousands of dollars to create an image like this. And now with AI, it's just a click away. So now I have my image. I'm going to check it out here. Open it. I try to drag it to the screen. All right, so now I have a flat 2D cover, which I'm pretty happy with. And let's turn it into a 3D cover. Yeah, Rob, like a Gothic font would be great. Yeah, that's kind of the idea. That kind of looks like medieval Gothic, that work. I could probably find a better one for this, but that should do for now. So what did I create here? Okay, so that prompt didn't make it through. probably too complex for our system. So I have to check that, maybe it's the parentheses that don't work. But yeah, the main idea is to, use some of these ideals here to create your prompts, and, maybe remove the parentheses and any special characters. But let's get into actually creating the cover as a 3D cover. So I'll go to Dezygn here. I'll go to this screen, and we're going to look for a book cover mockup template. So let's scroll down. You see this one here. So this is more like a notebook. Yeah, I think this is getting somewhere. Yeah, this is more like a book here. And yeah, here we have these are like this looks like books. So I'm gonna upload the cover here, and here we go. I get my book cover, so I can download that and then open it. And I get a pretty nice 3D book cover. Okay, so that's the whole process. And obviously you could, look for other mockups. It's probably not the right one, but yeah, there are a bunch of mockups to use. And yeah, that's kind of the process to create a book cover that I would use in most cases. And you can remove the backgrounds or anything with Dezygn if you want to. Like if you wanted to have it here and change the color of the background, you can easily do that with Dezygn. And then yeah, you have an image you can share on social media or your website or wherever. Justin, how do you get access? So after the webinar, I'll be in the chat to help out. This is not a good one. So yeah, just let me know after the webinar in the chat here, and I'll help you out. All right. Or yeah, I think that's the best. So that's the idea here. So again, this tutorial will be reposted in Dezygn under the Academy section if you want to rewatch it. Now let's talk quickly about AI news, and it's interesting for us because obviously we use a lot of AI tools, and most of the latest AI image technology use some kind of built-in modifier. So I'm not sure if you saw that. It was a couple of weeks ago. And I have to run, but it's recorded. Yeah, it's recording, and we'll send the link in Monday's newsletter. And otherwise, the webinar will be available here in the Academy tab. All right, Mark. So so let me get to this. So yeah, so there is a tendency for newer model to add some built-in modifiers to the prompt that you have. So like this wasn't the case a year and a half ago, but for the past year and for the past few months, it's more and more the case. So what I mean by this is, let's say you type, I'll just go to Google to show you some examples. So let's say you type, a photo of a CEO, right? So this was kind of what it was when AI started, when these image models became popular. You can see this is from 2022. So when you typed CEO, you would get white dudes being CEOs, because that's the bias of the image. It takes inspiration from stock photo websites and all of that. So that's just the way it is. It's just to return this kind of results. But then some people are like, there are black CEOs, there are Indian CEOs, and so on and so on. So what this AI company did is that what they do now is that they insert some what they call modifiers, some prompts in the prompt you use. Okay, so right now this is what you get nowadays. So now if you type firefighter, for instance, you'll get a white dude, you'll get a Chinese woman, and a black guy and a Chinese guy, and you'll get woman, you'll get man. So basically they insert a lot of modifiers. So let's say you type a firefighter, so then in their system they will have a rotation of ethnicities keywords. They'll have like white, Asian, black, female, white female, black female, and so on. And so basically they'll serve you a few different variations of these modifiers. So there's kind of a natural, not natural, but built-in bias towards, creating diverse imagery in AI nowadays. For the past year or so, this is the way it has been, so it's something to keep aware of as you're creating visual, is that you almost want to be conscious about, your choice of ethnicity or race or so on. If you want to get if you want to get a specific result, you might want to mention it in your prompt, because otherwise the AI will kind of, the built-in modifiers will kind of do their own thing. And so last week, this bias was taking to a kind of extreme in a way. It became kind of weird. So Google created their own image generator. They released it 2 weeks ago, and then they took it off after like 5 days. So it was only on for like a few days, a handful of days, because it had a huge bias. They inserted all these prompts in it, and so yeah, it was almost comical. So let me show you some example. Yeah, so these are kind of a bit of extreme, but you get the idea. Like, so the prompt was, show me an image of an American woman, and these were the results. Like 4 black girls, which obviously works. There's plenty of American black girls, but again, here's an image of Australian woman, and you'll get, I don't know, I think she looks Indian, like American Indian. And let me show you a couple more examples. So here is one of them. So again, this is from Gemini AI. So here they had a portrait of a founding father of America. Okay. And the 4 images they gave, well, actually 3 of them were like, were obviously biased towards different ethnicities, but that caused the results of the prompt with not being so good. I mean, when you're looking for a portrait of a founding father of America, you're not looking for the image of an Indian chief. That it's kind of and so basically what Google Gemini did is that it had all these modifiers in their systems to make sure that they represent each ethnicities. And yeah, it became almost funny. So this is another one, like, show me an image of a Viking, and it will come up with black Vikings, and then image of a Pope, and it will come up with Indian and black Pope. So So yeah, so this caused a bit of backlash for Google. Well, a lot of backlash on social media. And so after a couple of days, they took it off. So yeah. So you can see here from CNBC, Google to relaunch Gemini AI picture generator in a few weeks following criticism of inaccurate images. So basically, yeah, it was live for a couple of days. It was fun. And then they took it off. Anyway, it wasn't nothing special compared to what we know. It was similar to DALL-E. It was not as good as Midjourney. So nothing really amazing, but it's a very interesting story. How these built-in modifiers they include in the prompts to make sure that everyone is represented can lead to a ton of backlash and can lead to like bad results, and then them having to close it. So yeah, it's going to come back soon, but it was strange to see them release it and then close it a couple of days later. So that's it's interesting to know it as well, because like if you create images using our AI systems, you might come across this kind of issue here where you are not getting what you want for some reason, and that's usually because of the modifiers. All right, and so now let's move to coming soon. What we're working on. So we're working on some Midjourney bugs right now. The time generation is not as good as when we had it a year ago. It's slow. It only generates 1 images. Last year we had it at 3 images. So we're trying to restore pretty much this functionality. That's going to be our focus next week. So I think by the end of this week, by this time next week, we should have Midjourney running pretty fast and generating multiple images at once. We'll also focus on performance. That's throughout the month of March. So probably the first couple of weeks, we're going to work on performance. We think we found why the design app can get slow. It's a database issue, and so we are going to move to a separate provider for our database. So that's still in our plans. Also, I'd like to outline the training content calendar, because right now with these workshops, obviously you have no way to know what's coming up in the workshop. What I like to do, certainly by next week, is to kind of have an agenda for the workshops for the next 3 months, so that you know what's going to be covered in this and that workshop, and you can choose to attend the ones which are the most appealing to you. So try to kind of structure a program around the live workshops. And we're also going to work on one of our plans for this quarter is GPT-Dezygn custom prompts. So it's the ability to kind of customize the text in GPT-Dezygn prompts, because right now we all generate the prompt automatically using the design platform. So as a user, you don't really have control over which prompt Dezygn uses. And so we're planning to allow you to do that. And this is actually in our roadmap, which you can view in this URL here, which I'll paste in the chat for your reference. So yeah, this is our roadmap for the current quarter. Okay. And the last thing we're looking at is some courses on freelancing. So I'm currently going over that, and hopefully we can bring you some courses around freelancing and selling design services. And so finally, we're also opening up office hours. So, I hope to make this a recurring thing, because I notice like a lot of the time after the webinar, usually when the webinar ends, I will go on mute and I will answer questions from users privately in the chat. But sometimes people might need, maybe deeper help or more help. So we're basically, I'm going to make available office hours where I'm going to paste this link here. This is a link to my virtual office. And you can drop in this link. You can move your avatar around and you can come and talk to me. This way, if multiple people are in, we can talk one by one. It's a pretty cool system. It's kind of a virtual office. And so, this is the link. So after the webinar, I'll be available via that link for at least 30 minutes to an hour, depending on if many people come in to talk. So, and I'll also be available in the chat for like 5 minutes here in the webinar. All right, so that kind of concludes this workshop. I'm going to go through the questions. If you have any questions, you can drop them now, generic questions.